Thank you.
Cool.
All right, so we'll go ahead and start with attendance. Chair Martin Gilmore.
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Miller. Here. Luisa Alvarez. Here. Ryan Kelly.
Here.
Erica Cristo is going to be absent for this meeting. Jenny Lynch.
Here.
Councilmember Chelsea Noonan-Camp. She is absent. We're in a waiting room. She will be absent. Then for city staff, we have Communications Director Chris Hargith, who's online. Marketing Manager Vanessa Davis. Present. Web and Digital Content Strategist Lucia Magnuson. Here. And me, Andrea Mueller, Visual Communication Specialist.
Great. So we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? All right. Head on to, do we have any public comment tonight? New business, event sponsorship with Tony.
Hi, thank you for having me back. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tony Arnoldi. I do the events for the city of Inglewood and have historically been able to partner with the Cultural Arts Commission, and I'm here tonight to ask if we can do that again. Tonight, I am really here to just ask pretty much for the same thing that we did last year with a little bit of some editing to it. If you remember last year, you were all able to support each of the first Fridays with $250 each, and then $250 for Celebrate Inglewood, $500 for the block party and for the tree lighting. And then we did $500 for some take and make crafts for the rest of the events, like the sunset concerts and some of the other smaller events. So that was a total of $3,000. And then there was also $2,000 that was dedicated for music to take place at the first Fridays. So it was a total ask of $5,000. And I would love to ask for that same amount again this year with a little bit of change. So last year we had 5 First Fridays. And this year we will have 4 First Fridays because we're not going to have the one in October. But I would like to ask if we could transfer the money that was dedicated for that First Friday, the $250, to the new event that we're going to be having in 2026, which is the revitalization of the South-South Broadway corridor. I am working with the arts people down in that area, and we are looking to do a revitalization event in April. And we very much would love it to be part of the art and all the forms to kind of fit with the theme that we seem to be going with for 2026, along with all of the First Fridays also fitting into the art and all of the forms. So we're hoping that this makes more inclusivity of all of the different arts that we have in our city and bringing them all to be at different platforms throughout the year at the different events. So, with that, it would, and then we were also wondering if you would be willing to maybe match that $250 to help out with some of the art and events that we could do at that event. So bringing the ask this year to $5,250. Additionally, sorry, one more thing. I wanted to also ask Martin or propose to Martin. I know that you had handled a lot of the music requests for First Friday last year, and I got pretty cumbersome with your event schedule that you have. So I wanted to offer to take that over for you if that's something that would be helpful.
It would probably be helpful for our communication in general.
Okay, great. And I wanted to ask Cultural Arts Commission if they would be willing to help me craft what art is in all those different forms to make sure that we're covering it all throughout the year. That's it. I'm done now.
Any discussion on?
So I just want to confirm, so it's the Sunset Concerts, right? Is one event, one series, right? Is part of it or not this year?
First Fridays.
Just the first Fridays?
There wasn't, the Sunset Concerts weren't part of it.
Okay, for some reason I thought that was part of our events last year in the 3,000, no?
It was all of the First Fridays.
All of the first Fridays, okay, cool, sorry, just clarifying.
Well, where does the sunset, where does that come from then?
So, did I say Sunset?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You mentioned
That-
they can take crafts.
The make and take crafts were part of the Sunset. Sorry, I'm like, did I say Sunset? For the make and take crafts, so we set up a table for all of the kids and we put, made it possible by made available by Cultural Arts Commission. And so it's just a table and there are different things that the volunteers or whoever staff, if any of you all want to be there and staff it. And it just gives the kiddos some things to do because sometimes the adults get involved in the music and the kiddos don't have something to do. So that's what that was. Sorry for my confusion on that.
And then what were you said in association with the theme. What theme are you referring to?
So a lot of the revitalization efforts and different things that we're doing throughout the city went to a lot of public input, and a lot of what we got back was people really liked having the art in all its forms being showcased at different events, be it the block party, the concerts, or the First Fridays or whatnot. And so that's one of the things we really want to stand on, and we just want to make it last throughout the whole year and not just focus on one thing or another, especially with Cultural Arts Commission and knowing that there's so many different venues of art, be it, music or dance or poetry. I just think that it's an awesome theme, and especially to carry it out throughout the whole year. And that's really the only way we can get all the different forms showcased properly is if we made
Is
it.
there something that you sponsor then before the music starts at the sunset?
No, the Sunset Concert is it's the live band that comes and plays from 6 to 8.
Right. But was there a performance before the music?
Not this year.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the First Fridays is where, the year before we had done a kind of a performance before the sunset. We shifted that to the First Fridays this past year, and that worked out really, really well. So they kind of performed through the First Friday, which is kind of more of a happy hour, like come and chill with your friends, get to know your neighbor type thing. So we wanted to continue that because it went over really, really well.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's what I was remembering. Was it called Kids Stage or something?
Oh,
Through the library.
that's through the library.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Many things going on.
It is. It's a lot.
Great.
They do the kids stage before the movies in the park now.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Just trying to.
I know, and everything happens in a park, so that's fun.
Any other discussion about that?
I was just curious about the last thing you said, well, in your initial spiel, about asking us to help with art in all its forms, like not defining what that means, but supporting that. What do you need from us there?
I'm just really looking to you guys and your artistic and creative minds and just making sure that I'm not missing an art in its form. And I know that Cultural Arts Commission has a lot of contacts through different art venues. And so just asking for your assistance in helping me find, first of all, not missing an art form, and then helping with the connections that you all have on who can provide that. I know Lucia has a great poetry person, and then Kyle has a ton of different contacts. Martin has tons of musical contacts. And so just utilizing all of your creative venues to help with all of those different events.
Cool. That makes sense and sounds great, and is exactly why I wanted to be on the commission. I guess I'm just curious, like logistically, because we only can't come here like once a month. Does that mean that like you'll reach out to us and say, hey, this is coming up? Do you have any ideas, or like should we get on a like side committee when your events are coming up? How do we help you?
I mean, definitely something that, you guys do work only meet once a month. You're always available to reach out to me or to your liaison, the communications team. I just work downstairs, so I'm always close. Or whatever you guys think, as you see an event, coming up, those will all be released on the first working day of January, so you can see everything we're doing. And so you guys reaching out and saying, hey, I see that this month is themed with paint or whatever. Have you thought about this? Or a juggler or whatever it might be.
The schedule for the whole year is released in the beginning. Cool. Thank you.
I would say historically, we've supported Tony in the events, and then sometimes Tony comes to us, and then sometimes she just goes with it and gets amazing things to happen. Like at the tree lighting, she's had lots of different artist events / music, and so you've been very creative with the funds to make sure that we hit lots of different arts throughout the year. So, yes.
And in regards to our goals of inclusivity and diverse art forms, I was actually telling Brian the other day, like, how do we support music as well? Because there's so many different ways of expression. And so it feels good to have a space where we can support it securely for next year. And usually I ask clarifying questions, but I don't see anything that needs clarification in regards to providing music for the community and events for the community. So it sounds good.
Thank you.
We want to make a motion to vote on that one. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the $5,250 for the events this year with Tony. That matches the budget from last year, and plus the $250, which can come from our events and other stuff. I'll make that motion. Do you have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. On to the next thing. Second floor murals with Lindsey. Is she here? Here she is.
Awesome. Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Cultural Arts, for letting me come and present today on Historic Inglewood's behalf. I know that you've probably had a chance to review some of the things that were submitted last week. So you probably have noticed that there is some changes from our last meeting. We did receive some additional feedback from City Manager Lewis, the communication staff, and also Historic Inglewood Board that prompted us to make some new decisions and some changes to the murals, which I'm hoping that you'll appreciate and like. So I'd like to just kind of review the document, and then if we could, take some questions and stuff from you all. I know we had some really good feedback from you last time, so I want to make sure we have a couple of minutes for those questions. So I'm going to walk you through the changes first. So let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, so one of the big changes that we made was the wall number 3 that featured the tribal history in Inglewood. We ended up moving that to panel 1. So this is the first wall that you see when you're facing the courtroom. We thought that this would be a better way to tell Inglewood's story because the Native Americans were here prior to Inglewood becoming a city. So we moved that section to here. We also felt like perhaps we were complicating it, having different portraits and pictures and things. And what was most important was telling the story of the peoples that were here prior to us, and then having their symbols, as really the only way of telling that story, as opposed to running into some of the issues of, is this photo the right photo? Is this too contemporary? Are we leaving out a tribe? It was kind of proving itself to be difficult. So that was one of the major reasons that we, tried to simplify this a little bit more. This wall in particular, there is room to grow, so we can still add some additional text if you feel like there's more of the story that needs to be told here. This is also, we will be having some of the tribal councils review this text in its entirety, you know, obviously before going to print, because we want to make sure that we're not stepping on any toes or speaking out of turn in any way. And then I guess I'll just kind of go through real quick and then we can circle back for questions. So wall number 2 is our timeline, so that did not change. We still are adding a few pictures here and there, but essentially the timeline is nearing completion. So when you saw it last time, we did not have all the text and the pictures in place. So I've moved forward with that section. I will say that once we started pouring into the timeline more, we realized that there was still more of Inglewood's story to be told. And because the timeline is extensive, you know, a lot of the text had to be shortened into 1 to 2 sentences. And so what kind of birthed out of that was the formation of wall number 3, which really looks more at Inglewood's history, the legacy of independence and innovation. And so that essentially took the place of the previous wall and became this. So in here, we're talking more about some of the huge history moments here in Inglewood, just a little bit more in depth than the timeline is able to get into. And we thought that this was, you know, a good representation of some of those innovations that Inglewood has made, and really showcases our history in a much better way. And then moving on to the last wall. So you may remember that this was originally the design for the first wall. So we moved that here. We thought this was a really good spot for this, just to show the comparison between past and present. And in case some of you weren't aware before, the main portion of this text is actually a poem that was featured in the Inglewood history book. If you're not familiar with the Inglewood history book, it was produced by the original Historic Society, and I believe it was printed in 1993. I could be wrong, sorry. Yeah, 1993. And so this was a poem that was originally featured in that book, and we thought that it was a great way, you know, to tell Inglewood's story and just kind of this past and present comparison. And then this is just kind of an up-close view of that poem. And I'm also happy to submit all of this text in like a Dropbox if you guys are wanting to review it more closely. Communications has had an opportunity to review it and has gotten back to us with some of their changes that we've made to the timeline and other pieces. So that essentially is where we are at right now, and I would love to answer any questions I can or listen to any feedback you might have.
I have a few clarifying questions, if I may. Luisa here. Thank you, Lindsey, for the presentation. I know last time we spoke about respectfully honoring how the either Native or Indigenous or Native American tribes wanted to be named or reflected on this mural artwork. Just to be respectful on my end, have you heard from them on any feedback in regards to that, or are you still in the process of figuring that out with them?
So we're still in the process of figuring that out because we kind of took a different direction. So my hope would be to get feedback from you all today, and then proceed forward with kind of where we're at as a more buttoned up attempt, and then get that feedback, and hopefully there will be minimal changes, and then you know, reshare that information with you. So we would be having them review the text, reviewing the usage of the emblems, the tribal emblems, asking if they thought that we should be sharing any more information on that particular panel, and then also having them review the timeline in general, because there's other pieces and parts with reference that I want to make sure that, you know, everything is solid.
Awesome to hear. And then another clarifying question, because I was reading the document And I don't know if it's just me, but I saw there was different paragraphs, and I saw that every single one is slightly different. What is the intention of the context of the verbiage below? Is it for us to review, or are you just sharing a little bit of the process with us?
I'm sorry, and can you be specific, like which panel you're talking about, or?
Yeah, I think from the one I got, the most recent one, it's talking about, here, I'll do my best to explain what's on here. So it talks a little bit about the earlier days, the Reputation built the Cherolyn horse car, and then a little bit about Carnation City, and then it goes into General Ironworks. And so it looks like it's about maybe 3 paragraphs, and I see that repeated and changed, like some context has changed, as in like in the bottom, it starts talking about the log across the street for Broadway. And so I was wondering if you were providing that information for us to review, or just to share kind of the process of what you plan or intend to put on a mural.
I think that is for the innovation and sustainability piece. So that is actually the verbiage that's on wall number 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so each section, it's kind of under or around the photograph that represents that.
Got it. Thank you for that clarification. And then lastly, I know there was street signs, and we have spoken about mariposa and the possibility of that coming from the Mexican American culture and diving into that. I know I sent the contact to Lucia, and unfortunately we didn't find any information on that. And so my question for clarification, did we move away from the street signs due to the fact that there wasn't a lot of historical information, or was it just that this was a better direction for representing the indigenous and native tribes?
So we did have a couple of comments in regards to, why are we featuring this? This really has more to do with Denver. Even though some of those streets obviously appear in Inglewood, I think that we felt like it was better to simplify it. I was wondering though, and this is a good question to you, is we could add a little section at the bottom of what we currently have for the tribal wall number 1, in regards to that naming system. We could, at least talk about it.
Oh, fair enough. Thank you. I appreciate that. As a Latina American, I would appreciate, and I also want to acknowledge that this is a focus on the Native and Indigenous tribes. So maybe at a later opportunity, when we have the space to give it the same dedication, maybe we could explore what it looks like for the Latin American community. And then I'll look into those contacts and see if they have any more information, and see how much we could dig from what may have been lost over the years. But thank you for the consideration.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, Lindsey, this is Ryan. I'm usually off the camera, but as I said before, I'm smiling. I think it's awesome, and I was looking at the pictures. I just wanted to say one little thing was that on one of them, there's a current picture of Broadway, and it's got a for sale sign on it. And I wondered if you could get a recent one that had that taken down on the old Irish bar.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just a thought. Do whatever you want. I just wasn't sure you noticed it.
We actually, Lucia was helping me with pulling some additional photos. And so I need to check back in with her because there was a couple and that was actually one of the ones that we were going to replace. So.
We just have to take it.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of updated ones.
I live around there, so let me know.
Okay. If you want to, go for it.
Great. Thanks, Lindsey.
So in regards to next steps, so my next step would be to make sure we don't have any additional changes to the timeline or any of the panels at this point, and then shopping this past, checking in with some of our native tribes to get their approval. And then I would want to get this back in front of you just one last time before we take it to the printer for sign off from you guys, at least. And I think that it might be better if I do like a subsampling of or not a subsampling, but maybe like individual screenshots of the timeline once it's complete. So maybe 3 sections on a page, and I could give you that as a PDF to review.
Great. That'd be really cool. Cool stuff. Looking forward to seeing that.
Okay, anything else I can answer?
Is there anything you need from us at the moment, other than the follow-up next month?
I don't think so. If anything, stands out after this meeting, please feel free to get in touch with me or send a message to Lucia or Chris to get to us, and we can, address anything that may have come up in the meantime.
Awesome, thank you, Lindsey.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Thanks.
time as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, budget update. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. All right, for 2025 budget, I apologize, we haven't gone through this before. We went through it in January, but we haven't had an update in a while, so I think we should have like maybe every 6 months updates or quarterly updates moving forward. But I just wanted everyone to get a sense of what the budget's looking like for 2025. On what was on the attachment, I have a few updates. And this is from Debbie. She handled the Lunar Hampton and the Rainbow Point payment. So just so we all are aware, for Rainbow Point, we paid the additional $4,500. The first payment for that was in 2023, so the last payment is this year. So $4,500 was owed on that. And then for Lunar Hampton, we had $10,000 encumbered for Lunar Hampton. The first payment for that was in 2024, and then we just paid it off in 2025. We have it in storage now, so we have that available for use. What we're looking into is the art pad is going to be a little bit more than what we thought. So we'll discuss that in the December agenda. But just so you know, we have it. It's paid for. The artists have been paid for these guys. Other than that, we have the second floor murals at $30,000, music at $2,000, immersive art was $2,000, and I believe that was from Tony as well. Events, $3,000, and then we did have that $2,000 reserved for murals and mason jars, but that did not happen, I don't think.
No, it got canceled.
Okay, so we don't have to do that one. And then we have the artist reception for $3,000. If we still want to do that, I know we're getting close to the end of the year. But all the artists have been paid for the traffic cabinet wraps. So they all know that they were selected, minus the one that we're going to be discussing today. But they'll all have their payment in order. So we could have a reception in December if we wanted to do that still. But
it would be nice, so historically for the folks who are new, is that we've invited the artists to come, and we've given them like a certificate and just acknowledged their art around town and the wraps, and we had tabletops that showed where the wraps were, and so it's been really nice to get all the artists together who were selected and just to kind of be recognized by the city.
Yeah.
How much we appreciate their art, really.
And with the wraps right now, I don't have a timeline on when they'll actually be wrapped, with the ones that have already been selected. So it might be more later this month or early December. So maybe it's something we wait for to January when they're all like for sure in.
Well, I'm kind of wondering, like, with these funds, if we selected a place for January and then roll the money into January, but do the event in January after the holidays, because that doesn't feel great to compete with that's coming up, but also it would be nice to have both rounds. And especially with like the blue tile, those folks, it could be a real party if they all come.
Yeah, we could even maybe do it on a second Saturday.
Which would be awesome.
We're having some technical issues with the screen isn't sharing.
Oh, here.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, I second that competing with the holidays. That's a tough month to compete. Everyone has so much going on.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a nice kickoff to 2026 where we start off the year just celebrating the artists what a great way to start off that way. And I like the idea of the second Saturdays, because not only do we get to celebrate them, but they have the opportunity to mingle with everyone else that's participating in the event.
But I do love the idea of doing it on second Saturday, just to.
Where did we do it before?
Last time we did it at One Barrel, and then
So it's always like
What was the time?
some restaurant or something?
it's been at restaurants, but we did it,
Yeah, try to move it around to
we
places.
moved it, or, yeah. Yeah, the last one was at One Barrel, which was great, and they were very generous with us, very generous. Gave us a great deal.
Let's go there again.
Yeah.
I know. But we could have it catered and even do one of the second Saturday locations. I'm sure they would be on board. And
That'd be cool.
the Chameleon Collective is in Blue Tile, and their wrap was the dinosaur wrap over on the high school, which is really cool. So it might be fun to partner with them and have it there.
Yeah.
Just because there's a ton of artists in there.
Yeah.
That might be food for thought. But obviously there's a ton of places. I mean, even getting folks into Continuum could be another location, and maybe having food brought.
Yeah.
Or
That sounds good.
something along those lines.
We also did 3,000 for second Saturdays. I didn't mention that. And then the cafe subscription for the year was 120. It was the year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucia?
So what we're looking at, yes.
That was me, sorry.
Oh, like,
I was just curious, what, there was one line for music, which I think is great, but I was just curious, what did that represent? What did
That
we
was
do?
for the second Saturday, no, sorry, that was for
This one?
First Friday market events
Yeah.
that we paid. We contributed money so they could have music at those.
So what
That
we
was
did,
together with Tony.
Correct.
yeah, so what we just voted on essentially was
Same part.
And then what we're looking at, so we have put away 15,000 for art maintenance. And I sent that email earlier today just about putting that information in your art maintenance assessments. And if they're with the cabinet wraps right now, I can send that to the vendor and get a quote out, but that will come from the Wraps and Crosswalks Fund.
Right.
So then we'll put together all the information about the artwork that needs assistance and then have an RFP to see how much it would cost to repair those from there, just so everyone's aware. But that will most likely be in 2026.
Yeah.
So it'll roll over.
Cool.
But yeah, what we're looking at remaining is 24,000. And
Is that
again,
what happens? Sorry.
wait, what?
Is that what generally happens, is that we roll over?
Yeah.
The money, doesn't go away?
Yeah, it rolls over. And then we're getting, I believe, an extra 30. I'll have a harder number at the next meeting.
that's the 1%.
Yeah, for
As a wrap.
1%.
So the 1%.
Yeah, so last year it was 62. And so we're at 30 next year because we have limited projects. Just so everyone's aware. And then we'll talk more about 2026 budget at the January meeting.
Where does the 1% come from?
It comes from all of our capital improvement projects. 1% of those projects goes towards our public art fund.
Where does is it the residents' taxes out of property tax, or where does it come from?
So capital improvements are anything the city decides to use money on, that it might be structures, roadways, bridges. So say when the South Inglewood flood reduction project happened, that was a capital improvement project. So 1% of that entire project then goes to the arts. So it comes from the city budget, which of course the city budget is taxes.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily a direct tax. It's coming from kind of
Like we get a little,
Yes.
yeah,
okay.
out of,
So I didn't know that, so the capital.
Yeah. Sounds good? Any other questions or anything I should ask Debbie that I don't know about?
What is Debbie?
Oh,
Debbie
sorry.
was-
She was,
To say, what is Debbie's role?
previously.
yeah, she was previous administrative and she like handled this, I don't even know how many years, but
Long time.
I
Yes.
saw the name Debbie on a
Yeah.
whole document.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
She's so genius.
Yeah, but if you have any questions, email us, let us
I have a
know.
general question about budget stuff. since it
Yes.
came up. What are the rules, or maybe like opportunities around other money coming into this fund outside of that 1%? Is that like, that's the money and that's it? Or
I
can,
don't believe we can get any like donations or like
Right.
other revenue streams. We can partner with organizations, so like with Redline, let's say, we can partner with them and they hand out grant opportunities to artists, but we can't accept
And they have,
funding from them.
and they have like we've had groups sponsor events.
Yeah.
Like the
So, like,
poetry.
Yeah, or like the reception, for instance. We've had events where we've had artist open houses, and that was sponsored by all outside groups, so we didn't tap into this budget.
Yeah,
And
or we
there's-
didn't exchange money.
Yeah, and then there's also money that comes from like the wayfinding or the traffic wrap things that's not from us specifically.
Yeah.
That gets put into our pot, more or less.
But we're not fundraisers.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Great, is that it?
Yeah, that's it for budget.
Okay.
Well, I have a question.
Yes?
Where did the art maintenance money come from then?
That,
If it wasn't part of the 1%?
it is
Yes.
part of the 1%.
It is.
Put some away every,
Yeah, we just maintain it so that we have that in case something breaks, that we can always.
Okay.
and we always take, what percentage? It's 20,
15.
15%. Sometimes we've taken higher though.
Yeah, sometimes.
15 of the 1.
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Every year we take, of that 1%, we take 15, we set aside for art maintenance. And then some years we've taken a little bit more because we've
We
had,
didn't have any.
we didn't have any, and we also knew there was some like big things that were coming
Okay.
up. So I think one year we did 20%.
Yeah, just to build that fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Moving on, Haley Schneider couldn't
Um,
make it.
They withdrew that. They're gonna come back in January.
Okay, they'll come back in January. On to the mission and vision statement with Luisa Alvarez.
Yay, awesome, thank you guys. First, I want to start off, last month was not my best. So I want to apologize for that, but hopefully we could dive into this now. So real quickly, I just want to recap a little bit of the development that we've had for the vision and mission statement for the CAC to ensure that there's clarity on the process and everything that we've done so far. So based on the recent surveys that we started in the beginning of the year, there was a unanimous desire for clearer processes and roles amongst the group for the next 12 months. So this work that we're doing right now is a guiding step to help lay the groundwork for more consistent, transparent operations amongst ourselves and our community, and also transparency with our artists to ensure they know what the process looks like and what they can do to be part of the process. I want to acknowledge that change, while it's exciting, can be complex and that's sometimes uncomfortable. But the changes we're navigating together are meant to support clearer communication with the community, with the artists, as I mentioned, and allowing us to grow with purpose and a shared direction that we all agree upon. I will say, like, sometimes in our desire to solve every loose end, we lose sight of the power of steady progress. So we may have bit off more than we could chew when we started off this venture and diving into bureau guidelines. And we found so many knots to untangle. And so what we want to do is we want to take a step back and simplify on laying the first brink of this work. And looking for a shared consensus on the mission and vision statement. And I want to specify this is for 2025, even though we have 1 month left to 2026, and I'll dive into that a little bit more. So a little bit on the survey results. So the initial survey feedback, the original survey invited feedback and provided space for members to suggest alternate language. No new language was submitted, so we compiled previous statements on record and created a new draft based on common themes, goals from the survey we launched in the beginning of the year, and also some of the community feedback that we got during the strategy session for South Broadway. And then lastly, the new draft was voted on most recently, which we did in the last meeting. And Jen, I want to acknowledge kind of your concerns last time. I realized that it may have not been the best to have us all vote here present. I was just trying to move things for the sake of time. So I just want to say I acknowledge that, and maybe we can find other ways of doing that. But at the end of the day, after we had some space, the majority was to vote in these 2 vision and mission statements. Well, 1 vision and 1 mission statement. So the majority approved the vision to position Inglewood as a vibrant, inclusive, and recognized destination for arts and culture that reflects the diversity, creativity, and spirit of its community. The mission to advocate for, support, and expand cultural arts through community engagement, education, accessible opportunities, artist support, kind of like the music that we're doing next year, and strategic collaboration. So for the sake of transparency, I want to share that although I composed the last draft, I'm not tied to it personally. For me, it's not about authorship, it's about consensus. So ensuring that we all as a committee stand behind and agree upon collectively on these two statements. So we're going to open the floor today for any final thoughts or clarifying questions. If there's no objections or proposed changes, then we'll move forward with a formal vote to adopt these statements for the remainder of 2025 and 2026. So once adopted, next steps, we could then shift our focus to future priorities like defining shared values, mural guidelines, artist mentorship structures, and all of the work that we've been doing on the back end. And I acknowledge that there has been a lot of investment and time behind this. So I want to thank everybody for the engagement, for the dedication and the passion for the arts. So for that, I'm going to open the floor to discussion and kind of look at these two vision statements and open the room to any clarifying questions or anything else we want to bring up.
So once adopted, how long do these remain in place?
Great question. So because we're so fresh and there is always the potential of change, someone told me this and I really didn't like it when I first heard it because I was going through a difficult time, but the only constant is change. So in order to ensure that we're aligned with any changes that come, we reevaluate it in November. So we have the opportunity here to discuss it as a committee if every November we revisit these vision and mission statements to see if they're still aligned.
Okay.
So for this one, 1 year. And if later we feel like that's too much, then we could, space it out a little bit more.
Grammar-wise, I would suggest not leaving that preposition at the end for the beginning verb. I would say to support, expand, and advocate for cultural arts, because with the comma after the preposition, it's not grammatically correct.
Yeah. If you could write it, send it over, and then we'll add those adjustments, because I'm not going to remember that right now.
You're saying you don't want the for after advocate?
No, because the verbal phrase is advocate for, but when it says for and a comma, then that leaves a prepositional phrase open as a clause.
Yeah,
So
but it's
since
ended at the end after the last comma. It's to advocate for cultural arts.
Right, so, but aren't we
So that means
supporting and expanding cultural arts? So it's all three verbs, to advocate for, to support, and expand.
Right.
Right, so grammar-wise, I would put support first, then expand,
Oh, you just want to change the order?
advocate for, so there's no comma next to a preposition,
I get
as
it
it's
now.
left as a clause.
Thank you.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. With
I'm
so many
sorry for
languages.
making
No,
us talk about
did
grammar.
that help?
I was just
Like,
curious, I
Did
didn't
that help when I
understand.
showed the verbs?
I get it now.
Okay.
Thanks. What would you do if there was two phrases? Then you'd really be stuck.
You would.
We'd
I'd
just have
probably-
to change our mission.
Well, I'd probably rework it,
All right, sorry.
just the grammar in me.
Yeah, just send it over and we can add that to the vote for the
Okay.
adaptation.
Okay.
Unless anyone is opposed to it, but I don't think we're opposed to grammar.
Sounds great.
So at this point, we're wanting to make a motion, but with that correction on this mission statement and,
And also a motion
Or-
on revisiting in November, if we could do them both at the same time, or if they have to be separate. I don't know. what the
You want to revisit it every November. Probably has to do something.
And just for clarity, the words that are highlighted there are the words that came from the survey and the themes. And so these are words that we have expressed ourselves and also words that the community have expressed verbatim. And so there's also an opportunity for us to use those bolded words as our values as well, right? Values also support the mission and the vision, which is essentially just at the end of the day, this is what we stand for and this is why we support what we support, as in musicians or vinyl wraps and why some decisions are being made. This is my first year and my perspective was, with the limited budget, and from my perspective it's limited, so I'm sorry if that comes off wrong, but with the limited budget that we have, it's important for us to ensure that those decisions and the money is being allocated to things that feel supportive, again, of, like she mentioned, Tony, inclusivity. And so those words just help us keep that in focus if there's ever a doubt, or if anyone proposes like a new event or a new way of approaching any kind of artistic medium.
All motion to support this new vision statement and mission statement with the adjustments, the comma adjustments, for 2025, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All opposed?
Can I make a motion to revisit in November?
Yeah, that could be another one, or,
Yeah.
because it's only 1 year right now, we will revisit it.
You just made a motion.
Okay, we'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It passes. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Ryan has additional thoughts for this, for length of time. We had to bump him until next month, and then we had someone cancel. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh, it's
So,
totally fine.
so we'll have more on this whole process next month. Hold on, I lost my agenda. It's on my iPad.
I'm so sorry. Scroll down.
Here, a second. It's also on my phone.
Traffic wraps.
Traffic wraps, thanks.
Okay, let me make it not gigantic, hold on. Okay, so we had, the Roots to Radiance traffic wrap, we had some edits to. So adding that E in after the L in Inglewood, and also making sure it wasn't so stretched out, were the changes that I directed the artist with. And then he assured me that it wasn't AI art and sent me screenshots.
Okay, great.
So this is the final wrap, if we want to approve it, to move forward in the fall wraps.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I second. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right.
Okay, and then the only other thing that I have for wraps is this artist for Nature Pup. It was approved at last meeting. She asked if she could put the words "support your local animal shelter" on there as a design change, and I just wanted to make sure it was okay to put that on there.
I mean, I love supporting animal shelters. Is there any guidelines or anything that wouldn't allow us to do that?
No, we can do that, absolutely.
Because it doesn't name something, right? So it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not a logo or anything, just general statement.
An artistic statement.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very kind of her. She didn't say support your local artist.
Yes.
Yes. Selflessly
That's the next one.
thinking of animals.
Yes, and just to note, her 2 dogs are from animal shelters. They're all, they're rescues, and that's who appears on the artwork.
That's great. I'll make a motion to approve that one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right.
Okay, sounds good. I will send it off to the vendor.
Great. All right, if that's all about traffic wraps, we'll head on to upcoming events. Tony's gone, but.
Upcoming events we have are holiday tree lighting is on December 6th.
3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah, holiday market and tree lighting. So we have the holiday market beforehand from 9 to 2, and then the tree lighting from 3 to 6. And then we have the Holiday Express, which there's still tickets available at the Farm and Train, and that's December 6th.
6th and 7th,
Yep.
13th and 14th.
Yep. So lots of holiday stuff happening.
Who is the lady? Is that Tony's department?
Yet.
Okay.
For the sake of inclusivity, I have to ask, are we celebrating also any, like, multiple holidays, or are we focused on one primarily? Is there like a little nod or anything like that?
I mean, it's a holiday tree. We never call it a Christmas tree, so it's very much a holiday tree, and then the city socials, we nod to Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas.
And I added Dia de los Muertos this year too.
Great, on to staff's choice.
Only thing to announce, we have Rainbow Point installed in the city center circle, which is really exciting. I am looking into putting it on a pedestal because it's kind of short. It's shorter than I thought it would be. So we're getting pricing quotes for that, and I'll bring it to you guys in December. And then the artist for Lunar Hampton said that a lot of the metal plaques that a lot of people put on the artwork is getting stolen in various cities, municipalities, not just us. And so he has some type of fix for it that I'm gonna talk to him about, and I'll bring that to you as well.
Is it because they're made of some kind of valuable metal?
I have no idea, or people are just bored.
The cheap stuff.
I know.
Even if we use the night stuff,
He,
you're like, you don't want ours.
yeah, Debbie said it was something with wood. Like,
Wood?
because it's like made out of wood, it's less likely to get stolen. But I'm gonna talk to him about it, and then from there, we can discuss putting plaques on like every single piece that we have. But yeah, he said it was like a proven way to stop people from stealing the plaques. So I'll bring that back.
I know we did have, one of the Swedish horses was stolen.
Yeah.
I,
Or that night, I don't think.
well, first someone moved it.
Yeah,
We didn't like
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and then they full on stole that
Stole it,
one.
yeah.
Right in front of Swedish,
Yeah, right from.
like a
hospital.
busy space.
That's just misplaced anger.
That was my very first project I worked on for you guys, before you
Yeah,
knew who
yeah.
I was, and I was so upset.
We never found it, right? Never-
No, it was never recovered.
Or it's just
There was
so
like,
cool.
it was spotted and
Yeah.
like never recovered though.
Yeah.
It was very unfortunate, cause I loved that one.
Yeah, it was great.
We have some good pictures of it.
Yeah, that's a plus. Commissioner's choice?
I have a question. Are we gonna vote on giving money for the Second Saturday website next time?
When she comes and presents in January.
But they're redoing it, so I think she'll come back in January. So I would say right now, we can let go of that one because they took it off the table because they're looking at other options.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why they are rechanging it, but I watched the Inglewood Council meeting on Monday. I don't know if other people did. There was a bunch of like unfortunate, I guess, unhappiness about a bunch of stuff, and that one of them was around like city resource, specifically a website used to like promote something else. And I guess it just made me think about this thing, which I support it and I think it's awesome. The only reason I'm bringing that up is just because I've noticed that like when we vote on stuff, sometimes new questions come up. So I'm mentioning it now so that everybody could think about it in advance of January and how we could not run into the same problem that they did.
Yeah.
That's all.
And that's also a question I could bring up to our city attorney too, and just like make sure it's even feasible for the Cultural Arts Commission to pay for hosting, basically.
Thank you.
And I have a question about the wraps. What's the total number of the cabinet, of those traffic cabinets that there are?
There
How
are,
many there are, how many are covered, and how many did we approve to be covered last time?
oh, I have this, hold on, let me pull it up.
If there's a list, I would like to look into this cabinet right over here on Floyd and Inca. It was one of my assignments, and there's no art whatsoever on it.
Oh,
Can you look on the
Yeah,
Excel
and
and
if
see the
we-
name of that one? So I did put it in as a fix-it, but I said there seems to be no wrap on this cabinet any longer.
oh.
So I just want to know, and I forgot to write down the name of the title of it before I came here today.
Boyd and Inca.
Mm-hmm. Do you have your
Cause
Excel
that would
open?
have been, it might have been replaced, cause they definitely said one was replaced or was going to be replaced soon.
Sorry, I have it in a map.
Okay. Do you have the last email she sent with the Excel on it?
With the art maintenance list.
Yeah.
I have a
Well,
list
it never
here.
works like that.
Close to us.
I know, that's why I started.
Yeah, it'd be right there.
Sorry, I'm gonna grab
Did it
my
say what was
Google
on
Drive.
You did have a pen.
Hmm?
There was a pen on it.
Boy,
Yeah, it's right there, I think.
yeah, I have that as an available space,
Oh.
but let me look at the
But
RFP.
but the Excel had it labeled with a title of the piece.
Really? Let me look. And you put it in the Excel?
No, you put it in the.
I put it in the Excel.
It's
Sorry,
like-
I thought you meant the edits to it or.
Well, I know I did because I didn't know, and now I'm just thinking maybe I shouldn't have submitted that one.
And for clarity, I haven't been assigned anything, right? If there's anything,
Oh, I know where this is.
Our maintenance list, is that?
Yeah.
It's Mountain
Okay,
Majesty.
found it.
Yes. Mountain Majesty, yeah, and then who's that artist?
Bishop.
Yeah,
Stacey
that's
Reynolds.
Dark,
So I just
right?
wondered if she doesn't know that her art's no longer up there, or if that was a mistake, that it was
think it's a
never
mistake.
on that cabinet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's on,
I think it's on Dartmouth.
like Alati and Dartmouth,
Mhm.
or maybe a little
Just a
south
little
of
bit more
that.
north,
You think further north?
north of Dartmouth. I mean, sorry.
South
north
of Dartmouth.
Right, so then it means I
I
don't know
thought it was
where-
right in front of
Did
Bishop.
she know where her
Is it not in
piece
front of
is?
Bishop?
Hold on.
I could be wrong.
I just might need to update our art map.
Elementary school. I could be wrong too.
I can look on the way home, you think
Yeah,
it's?
Dartmouth and Alati is where I thought it was, but I could be incorrect.
And my computer won't load.
So it's just off.
Yeah,
It means it's just up here, like, well, no.
yeah, it's
Alati.
like up, so you would like follow.
It's right here.
Oh, it's by, that'd be by Bishop.
Well, that's the flower one. That's up there, and that one's called Mountains. Yeah, this one's like flowers.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I didn't. But if you go up to Alati,
We'll make the change.
It'll, yeah, it should be, that's.
I
right by
apologize
Bishop,
about that
isn't it?
though, that you went out there.
you just went by it.
This one doesn't have anything on it.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
Well,
I think it does.
Oh, yeah, that is Bishop right there.
It might, I thought,
Oh, Mountain Majesty is new, huh? I'll make the change. I apologize.
No, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have submitted it then, I should have waited to talk to you guys.
No, you're good.
that's good to know.
I know it's up it should be up right there. I have an Art in Inglewood interactive map. Let me just like make sure. It's on here. Cause I might have it wrong on here too. Just so you know, I've updated everything in here.
It's all combined now. She combined, as you
Yeah.
guys asked for it to be.
Yeah, it's right there.
Lucia went, oh,
And so where is it?
guess that.
It's next to some grass.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
it's right
where-
outside, it's on Dartmouth and Alati. It's
So
right
it's
outside
across
of
the street
Bishop.
from Bishop.
It's
on
right
the
in
corner
front of
Bishop.
Bishop.
So, okay,
It's on the,
if we, so then that means it wasn't assigned, right? So I'll go look at it.
Where is it?
I can take care of that and speak. See, I'll do the.
And it's brand new too, so I'm like
Okay.
not super worried about it.
But
It just got installed in spring.
one of the works that I was assigned as
That is
well,
not there.
which I forgot, is in Pirates Cove, which is closed. So I
Oh,
can-
Buccaneer.
Yeah.
oh,
Buccaneer.
you can look through the,
I've done
it
that-
looks
I've done that
pretty
before.
good though.
Yeah.
We visit,
Yeah.
we do Pirates Cove Market.
I've had that one
I'll add
before,
it
so
Okay.
I should remember. Oh, yeah, I can't get
Good
it.
and like,
We're
we're supposed, well, she's going over to
Next week.
next week. Do you
Yeah.
mind taking a look at
Not at all.
Buccaneer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'll make that adjustment, I'm sorry. I got that from a bulk list of everything. Okay. But yeah, I have the map up also on traffic cabinets and you can see, orange I have as like locations for our next round of wraps. So that's where we're considering for the next round, just so if anyone's curious.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
They're kind of all over the place.
I'm just glad her art isn't taken down.
No.
Yeah, so are we.
It
Well, I
should
was
be
like,
there. It
what?
was installed in spring.
Okay.
I was like, I swear I've seen this one
I
recently.
know,
I drive on
I know it's
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
All right,
Oh.
if there's nothing else, then we'll adjourn the meeting at 6:45.
Right on the dot.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Yes.